Welcome to the Ultimate Rugby Experience. Hi, I'm Ant Strawn, the General Manager of the Auckland Rugby International Academy. Based out of the iconic Eden Park, situated in beautiful Auckland City. The Auckland Rugby International Academy delivers world-class development programs based around technical, tactical and the strength and conditioning pillars. Follow in the footsteps of legends and join us at www.aucklandrugbyinternationalacademy.co.nz.
This live stream of Auckland Club Rugby is brought to you by TEC and our awesome sponsors, Go Rentals, Fuji Xerox, Samurai Sportswear, Quinovic, Adset Braddock, Spencer Henshaw, North and South Trust, NZ Community Trust, and One Foundation. Live from Orakei Domain, it's TEC versus University for the Sir John Graham Cup.
Yes, a very good afternoon to Orakei Domain on Auckland's waterfront for a round 6 clash in the Gallagher Shield. It is TEC taking on University. It is a cool day but a clear day. Ground conditions are good underfoot, and for the first time in the history of the Gallagher Shield, these two famous clubs will play for the Sir John Graham Cup.
Hello.
Joining me in commentary today, former Auckland rugby representative, a man who played a season for Northland, it is Brandon Jackson. And Brandon, well, looking at the table, I guess it's probably University coming to this game as favourite. How much of an advantage, though, the home ground for TEC?
Oh, I think it's a moderate advantage, but University have been travelling pretty well. So both teams are really looking to get a win and a bonus point. TEC to stay alive and for University to go further up the table.
Yeah, let's run through this TEC team, and we will have a look at the sides in full in a moment. When you run through this backline of Eni Kennedy, Harry Plummer, Koli Ohifu, Nikolai Foliaki, Sione Tuifua, Simone Samate and James Russell, who are the standout players? Who are those players that are going to be instrumental today?
Well, Harry Plummer's a New Zealand under-20 player and Blues wider. You've got Keli Hifo, who's a former New Zealand secondary schools very good player, probably not as fit as he needs to be. And you've got some speed on the wing with Simone Samate.
Yeah, University side, as you said, currently sitting 8th on the table, plenty to play for this afternoon. Marty Swart will line up in the number 10 jersey. Look like they've got plenty of size up in their forward pack. Steve Arfoa, their hooker. Angus Duckett wearing the number 7 today.
Yeah, look, University will be what they always like, well organised, well drilled, fit, ready to go.
And just running through that University team, Noah Forster there will start in the number 13 jersey. Interesting name, Tavita Latu on the left wing. And again, Barnaby Abdul Wea will be starting in at tight head today. Antonio Rapata, the loose head. It is a good front row for University.
Yep, look, they're always well drilled, big and strong boys. So, look, the forward packs are really going to belt it out today. It'll be interesting to see what TEC's midfield combination can do to unlock Varsity's very well organised defence.
That breeze just starting to pick up as we do just run through the TEC team as we talk about plenty of firepower in the back. James Russell there at fullback, and keep an eye on Harry Plummer. Jack Wetton, part of the famous Wetton clan at 5. Sean Whittam, his locking partner, will wear the number 4.
Yep, so Jack Wetton's come back from overseas and recently come back into the squad. He's put on a bit of size from a couple of years ago. He's a big boy now. As
we see the University team come on to the park, and that wind just starting to pick up. It's relatively cool, so I'd imagine at this level, most of these teams have fairly good warm-up protocols. They're going to need to be warm today.
Yeah, looks it's one of the few weekends we've had this winter that hasn't been pouring down with rain. So, it should be good rugby. There's reasonable, footing underneath, and the wind blows right across the field, so it shouldn't have too much effect.
And how important the reserve bench today for both sides?
Well, I think that's where TEC might be struggling a little bit because there's been plenty of injuries, but I understand University are pretty much in the same boat, so yeah, hard to say.
So now waiting for the home team, TEC. Last won the Gallagher Shield back in 2015, formerly College Rifles as well. 5 clubs, in fact, throughout the history of Auckland Rugby now make up TEC throughout its rich history.
Yeah, there's over the course of 140 years, it's gone from 6 clubs into 1. Yeah.
Let's talk about the wind conditions. Generally, it's onshore. It tends to come across the field, or does it tend to play sort of north-south?
Plays across the field, so it's actually really picking up, isn't it? It's going to make quite interesting kicking conditions. But this, looking on the screen, you might be wondering about the grass colour. It's couch, so it looks like it's all died off, but actually it's a really robust grass root system, and just the way it looks, it's actually very good for rugby.
Well, I had a weird run across the field, and it's very good underfoot as we do look at our referee for today, Ryan Bothwick. Now here comes the home team. Plenty to play for, to look to stay up in the top 8. Currently sitting in 8th position.
Yeah, this is do or die for Grammatech. If they lose this, it's the season's all over. So they've got to win this and get a bonus point. I mean, you'd have to say it's a reasonably tall ask, but that's what the boys are out there to do.
A small but very passionate crowd, having wandered up throughout the club and had a look at the history of the club over those 140 odd years. Plenty of support for this team, and we hope you are enjoying our coverage. So moments away from a kick-off in this round 6 Gallagher Shield match between Grammatech, the home team, taking on University. And now a first look for the first time at the trophy that these two clubs will play for from this day forward in the honour of the great Sir John Graham, a wonderful All Black, a wonderful headmaster, but just a wonderful human being.
Yeah, well, DJ was my headmaster and helped out with the first team when I was playing. Great man.
So we are underway in this round 6 clash. And immediately it is University who look to kick for touch, and they have found touch. So Grammar, this will be the first test of their line out. Set piece so important at this level.
Yeah, I guess looking at this, you'd have to say the win slightly favours University in the first half.
Victor Tuangavasi with the throw. Messi, immediately the turnover, and we start to see University on attack. Good metres up through the middle, making 10, 15 metres. We wait for the referee, just a wee knock on. So early on, Grammar getting themselves out of trouble. They find themselves on the back foot, but they do have the scrum feed.
Yeah, I think looking at that line-out, we're going to see it's going to be quite hard with the way the wind's picked up just before kick-off. It's going to be hard for the people to catch and for the throwers to hit their mark by the looks.
So we will certainly get an idea, I'd imagine, here from the base of the scrum. Eddie Kennedy, will he look to kick? Will it be Harry Plummer? Get some sort of idea of what exactly these wind conditions are doing. So good scrum from both sides. Kennedy waits. Big long looping pass. And immediately we see Grammar find touch. It's a very good first up kick from Harry Plummer.
Yeah, be happy with that. The team will feel pretty confident with a guy of his calibre back, so that's a very good kick to start with.
And now the pressure goes straight back onto University with their set piece. Very good line out take. Good back play for the first time, but the defence comes up quickly from Grammar, looking to try and get numbers to the breakdown. University free it up, almost one off the ruck. Long cut-out pass now, looking to use their centres out wide, and immediately they take a quick 10 metres.
That was an important tackle there by Sean Whitlam, and that was very close. If he'd gone through his way.
University failing to find touch, and James Russell cleaning up for Grammatech, and just looks to settle things down. He's a good footballer, this young man, James Russell.
Yeah, he's a Welshman. He's over for the season, probably looking to stay a bit longer. He's got a couple of hamstring issues, but he's hanging in there at the moment.
For the hooker for University. With the line out, just put that down to the wind conditions, just getting a bit of a feel for this ground.
Yeah, look, it's obviously more difficult than it appeared before the game kicked off, because no one's had a clean take yet. It's a pretty tough position to be defending from.
Well, it's been University so far who've had the majority of the territory. It's just little handling errors that have probably let them down. I've got to say, though, Grammar Tech, very good defensively, very good at getting up flat and just cutting that space down. Let's see what University can do. Again, they use that long cutout pass. Very good step here from Noah Foster. He's got a man on his outside. This time, Marty Swart decides to go on his own. The little show and go. Penalty though, is it? They take the quick tap. Referee says no. Do they look for the 3 points? Do they look to kick to the corner or tap and go?
You'd think they'd take the penalty here. The first time down to the 22, they want points. Oh no, they've taken a scrum. Very hard to defend 5 metres out, so probably a good call.
Yeah, perhaps they feel they've got parity at scrum time. Possibly feel that they've got the numbers and the power out wide. It was an outstanding little break earlier coming from Noah Foster wearing the number 13 jersey for University.
There's a couple of big units in the middle of that University scrum. They're very tall.
So they'll have a really good opportunity here just to get a gauge on both packs. Referee Ryan Bothwick says play on, and immediately off the back it is Uni Fitaleanga with the one out pass. University looking to just try and pick and go, looking to go through the middle, but Grammar Tech defensively holding their own.
University come left, they've got a guy completely unmarked, but they're trying to muscle it up through the front at the moment.
Numbers out to the right, but great intercept. Defence up quickly, turnover ball. Grammar Tech have done brilliantly here. You just wonder whether University are really not taking the 3 points that was on offer. Great kick from the base of the scrum from Eddie Kennedy. And that will find touch.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? 3 points would have been a perfect start, but they almost scored.
It seems to be the way, though, New Zealand Rugby's going. Sides looking to generally kick for touch or looking to try and take the scrum and looking to try and put pressure on the opposition. I don't know, I'm an old believer. Just keep the scoreboard ticking over.
I couldn't agree more.
So now University very good from the set piece. Again, brilliantly run. Look, cut out pass though, this time read beautifully by the defence, and it will be the number 12 for Grammar Tech who will go all the way. Kaleo Hifo with one of the best tries we've seen so far in the Gallagher Shield competition. Well, against the runner play, Grammar Tech underneath the uprights. Just perhaps University trying to be just a little bit too clever there between Marty Swart and Noah Foster.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Grammar Tech's line speed wasn't quick enough, but he got in the middle there and got it right in the breadbasket. Reasonable side breadbasket too.
He's a big man. Kaleo Hifo. Now Harry Plummer looking to step up, make 5-7. And against the runner play, it is University behind the posts in a huddle. And I'd imagine the question is, don't panic, guys. Let's just look to maybe slow things down a little bit, maintain our composure.
Probably get points with an offer too, wouldn't you say?
7 points to 0. Grammar Tech leading University. So Harry Plummer to get the action back underway. A flattish kick and a very good kick, finding touch. Coaches will be frustrated from Grammar Tech.
Yeah, that's not a great outcome, but you know, if they can finally secure a line-out ball, they'll be able to be clear. But this puts University in a good position.
So pressure now on Victor Tuangafasi, the hooker, with the throat. And immediately Grammatech looking to just try and run. A good bustling run straight up the middle from their big man, Tofo Whaleafa.
Oh, it's a very clever play by Harry Plummer. Well done.
Yeah, crowd really recognising what has been some very good rugby, some intelligent rugby from Grammatech. Harry Plummer just looking to change the angle, looking to just try and slow things down, playing for territory. You just sort of get a sense that that wind is probably favouring the Grammatech team, just slightly behind them.
Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? It's sort of going right across the field. Initially, I thought it was varsity, but I think you're probably right.
So University, again looking to try and kick. Kicks relatively flat from Marty Schwartz. He's got plenty on that. Has he got too much on it? Coming back is Simeone Samate for Grammatech. And immediately finds his fullback in James Russell, who looks to put it into touch.
Yeah, good play by both sides there, both fighting for territory. Good kick.
Again overthrown from the line out, turnover ball. Grammatech capitalising. Tofo Whaleafa. Now they look to come wide. But once again, beautifully controlled by Harry Plummer. Hasn't found touch on this occasion. And Paorian Manuel Harmon now for University. Kicks. James Russell returns the favour. And now University look to go wide before placing another one of these long, deep kicks. And on this occasion, they find touch. That is brilliantly played by University.
It's an outstanding kick. Clearly, it's too hard to kick to the right from the way we're looking at the field. They really need to be kicking the other side. Great kick.
Well, Jason Lawrence wearing the number 12. Very good kicking ability as well. They've got options, University. Now what they look to try and do. I still think their strengths lie with Noah Foster. Lorich in midfield, Tavita Latu on the left wing. But again, another turnover. Set piece, just letting both sides down at the moment.
Oof, that was a tough ask for Harry Plummer to get the ball away there, but he did well.
So another opportunity for University. This time, line out much better, beautifully taken in by Hamish Muro. Looking just to drive, looking to get them all in operation, but they're not going anywhere. Grammatech defence has been outstanding in and around the fringes and up front. And the pressure being put on University, not handling the pressure particularly well. Just another little knock on. Grammatech will get the put into the scrum.
Yeah, good line speed by Grammatech there. But obviously, it's quite difficult conditions with the wind blowing the way it is. Good line out by University. It's their first win for set piece there. This is obviously not Super Rugby or Mitre 10, but there's some big humans out there, isn't there?
Oh, some big hits indeed. We're very close to the sideline where we're commentating from, and there are some big boys on both teams. It's a good solid scrum from both sides. Grammatech. So Eddie Kennedy straight out to Kaleo Hifo, who puts it onto the boot. And now University decide to return the favour through the boot of Manuel Harmon. Both sides looking to try and get numbers to the breakdown. It comes back. Grammatech. This time the big high up and under from Harry Plummer. Swirling conditions, brilliantly recaptured by the Grammatech lock.
And throw it away, unfortunately.
It's very much been a game of just anything you can do, I can do better. One team just seems to sort of get some momentum only to turn it over. And once again, a penalty goes against Grammatech. Quick tap. University need to get numbers to the breakdown. Grammar need to get back. Jason Lorich. Smash and crash. We're in the number 12. And this has been the strength of University, using their very good, potent backline. Trent Harris just wrapped up, 10 metres short of the line. University on attack. Oh, immediately bust through the middle though, some poor defence. University, 3 metres short of the line. Grammatech looking to hold them up. What does the referee say?
That is outstanding defence by Harry Plummer. He caught the halfback right on the about 1 metre out, held him up and dragged him back.
So turnover. Grammatech, it's defence that's kept him in this game so far.
Trent Harris almost got there. It was interesting, the tight head prop, Nale Taukolo for Grammatech, actually made the covering tackle over the top. Good effort by a big guy.
So Grammatech will be wanting a good platform here at scrum time. Front row of Nale Taukolo, Penny Kalfusi. There's your loose head prop. We're in the number 1, Victor Tuangafasi, the hooker. Referee Brian Bothick says, we will do that again, guys. Just a wee time off here. So 16 minutes gone in this first half. It is around 6 clash of the Gallagher Shield. Grammatech, the home team, in the sky blue and white, taking on University.
Yeah, University wanted to get some points here. They've actually probably dominated territorially and haven't turned down the 3 points and haven't yet got points on the board. However, pretty hard to get out of here if you're in Grammatech's position.
So interesting to see that the University team very much split into forwards and backs in very animated conversations. Grammatech more in pods, talking about what they need to do at the scrum. And you'd imagine that that ball will go straight to Harry Plummer, and Plummer will look to try and put this into touch. And really Grammatech, I think, probably need to look to be playing a little bit more territorial, particularly knowing that they've probably got the slight advantage with the wind behind them. Both sides playing for the Sir John Graham Cup. The first time that it is up for grabs. It'll always be played from this day forward between these two very famous Auckland senior club sides.
DJ was a patron, I believe, of the University club, and yeah, a passionate University clubman. In fact, there's a photo I remember of him when he was in hospice with news that the University team had won, and he had his big mitts up in the air, shaking his fist in celebration. So, yeah, obviously committed to the club from a long way back.
Well, he dedicated his life to rugby, didn't he? But to so many other things, a wonderful manager of the New Zealand cricket team, changed the culture there, and just an absolute icon, and what a wonderful way to remember the great Sir John Graham. Both forward packs today at set piece at scrum time have looked relatively good. We haven't had sort of too many sort of re-scrums.
Yeah, you'd have to say it's completely even. I mean, they both have struggled at line-out time, and at scrum, you know, regardless of who's putting the ball in, they've both been steady, barely moving. Although there's plenty of tension in the middle, of course.
So Eddie Kennedy, the halfback for Gramatek, with the feed. Tofo Faliafa is the number 8. But they decide to go out one wide to Kolia Hifo, who scored a brilliant runaway try earlier. But again, just got to get numbers to the breakdown, and they've failed to do that. Quick tap from University. Advantage being played. Gramatek up offside. They've got numbers left and right. They decide to go to the right-hand side. Gramatek, though, once again hanging on. Brilliant defence. We've seen it all day. Referee comes back, though, says penalty. And at what point does he start reaching for the cards? I'd imagine that conversation is coming now. Fetu Rangi, the captain for Gramatek, being pulled out, being talked to by referee Ryan Bothwick.
Yeah, it's just instinct, isn't it? Guy takes a quick tap and guys tackle him. He's not 10 metres back, but that's where you get into trouble with the yellow card. He's probably just given him a warning there, as you said.
It's great at this level of rugby how quickly they can take the quick tap. At international rugby, there always seems to be a reason why you can't. Once again, it looks like University deciding that they want to go for the scrum. Perhaps they just need to take the 3 points on offer. They are trailing 7 points to 0. This has not been that effective for them when they've been down this end of the field, but they obviously still believe they've got parity.
Yeah, as I said before, a very difficult position to defend from, but look, I'm old school. I personally wouldn't have passed that ball and carried it up. Would have kicked it straight out, and they would have taken the 3 points. But just shows you get older.
Good scrum from University. Plenty of pressure coming. They've got numbers. Big step though coming from Marty Swart at first 5'8". Just held up 5 metres short of the line. They decide to go to the right-hand side. Scrambling cover defence from Gramatek. Again, the short one off the ruck, pick and go through the middle. Not effective. Looking to try and draw the Gramatek defence in. And when they do go wide,
well,
immediately we see University lose the ball. But on this occasion, what the referees ruled offside perhaps. University now looking to drive to the line. Are they over? And it is a try. It is a try for University. Well, the quick tap from the penalty.
Just as well they got it as what you'd be thinking. They really had to score there. They'd declined a couple of penalties. They really had to score.
Then you can clearly see he did get that ball down. And for Orion Manuel Harmon to do the kicking for University to bring it back to 7 points all. Well, if you're the Gramatek coach, your levels of frustration out of 10 at the moment?
Probably not too bad, actually. I'd say probably an even 5 as far as frustration goes. They've actually done well, down in territory, but, you know, 7 all. You'd have to say the defence has been strong. If they hadn't given away that penalty, University had knocked on. So.
And a long, deep kick-off from Harry Plummer. University decide just to put it into touch and settle things down. So a real good opportunity territory-wise for Gramatek. How important is this line out, though? Victor Tuankafasi, the hooker. It's been a little area of concern for both teams today. It's a difficult, tricky wind. That is better from Gramatek. Now they look to try and come wide. Plummer, cut-out pass. Looking to use their big man in the middle. Toafa Faliafa, the number 8. Looking to try and go through the middle. Good scrambling defence, though, coming from University as they look to try and come wide. Sione Tuifua, the right winger. Oh, good little draw and pass. They've got numbers. Samate looking to try and just step back inside. Stay away from that touchline. Big driving run from Nale to Kolo. The tight head prop. Plummer stepping, straightening. Short of the line. Referee had his arm out. Again, Plummer. Oh, nice little bit of trickery here. Just shows and goes. The big man up through the middle, though. Will he get himself underneath the sticks? He does. That is a very good try from Grammar Tech. Beautifully worked move.
Oh, it shows the class of Harry Plummer there. Carried a couple of times and then got the ball away off the ground.
Little show and go. Great little offload. Nobody was going to stop Nikolai Foliaki as he scores underneath the post. It is a very big midfield for Grammar Tech, and both their big men have scored two very good tries. It is game on. It is now Grammar Tech leading University 12 points to 7. Well, I asked you previously in terms of the gauge of frustration for the Grammar Tech coaches out of 10. I'd imagine that's probably come right down to about 1 or 2
probably
at the moment.
1 at the moment, you reckon? Well, it just shows the class of a guy that can play at New Zealand under-20 and Blues wider level. You know, I mean, he orchestrated that with about 3 good carries and then the offload off the ground.
Yeah, he's a wonderful footballer. And it is now 14 points to 7.
Obviously, I think the university coach will be pretty frustrated after all that territory dominance to be down 14-7.
So currently when we look through the Gallagher Shield, the Alan McAvoy Trophy, it is Ponsonby on top of the table through 5 rounds. University currently sitting in 3rd heading into this game. Grammar Tech sit in 8th place. So on paper, and I guess looking at form, Grammar Tech probably exceeding a lot of people's expectations at this point, leading 14 points to 7.
Yeah, they are. They've struggled with consistency this year. The only way that Grammar Tech can go ahead is if they win with a bonus point and Eden loses. That's the only way it can really work from my understanding of the table mathematics.
I was always told at school I'd never need maths, and then I became a commentator, whether it be in track and field and swimming, and suddenly I knew what they meant now by mathematics.
Yeah, it was never a strong point for me either.
No, 51 in school C maths for me. Anyway, let's get back underway. A big, long, deep kick from University to get things back underway. And it is the halfback, Eddie Kennedy, who decides to put it back into touch for Grammar Tech.
15 minutes to go in the first half is a really important part of the game now, because you'd sort of think whoever scores next is going to feel like they've, you know, the better of the first half, because it's been a good old scrap out there.
Well, again, Steve Arfor, the hooker, just struggling at line-out time. Set piece just letting University down.
Yeah, some very tall men on both sides, and so they're putting plenty of pressure on that line-out defence.
Well, Tumama, Tu'ulia and Hamish Muro are the 2 locks for University. Muro wearing the number 5. Tu'ulua wearing the number 4.
Yeah, well, Nala Kolo, the tight for Grammar Tech, is 6'4". Those guys look like they're an inch or 2 taller than him, so they're obviously sizable boys.
So Grammar Tech with the feed. And immediately they decide to go to the midfield, big crashing from Hefo, looking to get over that advantage line, but well wrapped up in. She comes though.
Well, it's really 50-50, that stuff, isn't it? You carry hard inside your 40, but you're directly in front of the post. So if anything goes wrong, it's 3 points to University, you'd imagine. Mind you, they don't seem to want to take penalties today.
No, well, Harry Plummer, he obviously realises that Kaleo Hefo and Nikolai Foliaki, the number 12 and 13 for Grammar Tech, are getting across that advantage line. They are big men, and at the moment, they've probably got the better of their opposites in Jason Lorrick and Noah Foster. Another good, precise kick from Plummer. Taking them into University's 22. They haven't been down this end of the field that often, but when they have, they've turned it into points. But now pressure goes back on Victor Tuangafasi here, the hooker for Grammar Tech. Will have the throw to the line out.
Yeah, critical for Varsity to keep their line shape and their line speed, get up quickly and try and put the Grammar Tech runners off.
Jack Wetton wearing 5, Sean Whittam wearing 4. Now looking to drive, looking to try and set up the maul perhaps. University are going to have to get themselves organised here. What are the instructions from the referee? So once again, Plummer, again, just this trickery in the back line. Only this time, Nikolai Foliaki wrapped up in a big tackle, and Grammar Tech find themselves on the back foot. Referee says, though, up offside, penalty.
Boy, that'll annoy the University coach, because they actually had that well contained at the maul, and then didn't seem to have any chinks in the defensive line there either, so they must have just crept up offside.
Well, you'd imagine here that Plummer will look to take the 3 points, look to just try and stretch this lead, keep that scoreboard ticking over, and is currently Grammar Tech leading University 14 points to 7. If you have just joined us, round 6 action of the Gallagher Shield. Grammar Tech taking on University. So Orakei Domain is the venue, down on Auckland's waterfront along Tamaki Drive. Kahu Bay, the beach immediately opposite the ground.
One of the best places to have a beer watching footy, actually, up on the balcony.
No, it is a wonderful venue. It is a wonderful ground. It's just a beautiful part of Auckland. Plummer. With University, they just need to look to just be a little bit more patient, just look to settle things down, maybe just pick and go, not look to be so hurried, even when it comes to tapping and taking those quick penalties.
Yeah, agree. Also, just questioning they got away with the try, but I'm a big fan of just ticking the scoreboard over and just keeping the points accumulating, putting pressure on the team that way.
So Marty Swart. With the reset and a knock on.
Oh, that's
Simone Samate, the left winger. And that will frustrate the coaches. Basic fundamentals. Just got dominance. You've just got parity. You've ticked the scoreboard over. And suddenly you find yourself back under pressure.
Yeah, that's a big play. We'll wait and see whether University can convert, but they're right back on attack now. Kick-off's such a critical part of the game these days, and the skills required. Mind you, that wasn't too hard, was it?
University, though, just set their backline relatively deep. Grammar Tech up flat defensively. Oh, good scrum, good shove coming from Grammar Tech. University finding themselves under pressure again. Now, quick ball required. One off the ruck. Nathan Harris looking to get across the advantage line. Great tackling, great defence coming from Grammar Tech as University send their big men straight up through the middle.
Great run.
Now looking to try and change direction. It is University. Brilliant once again from Marty Swart. But again, just that last minute pass, that last minute moment, letting them down. They talk about taking the occasions, winning the big moments. Well, University are not doing that at the moment. And you can just sense the frustration from the big lock, Hamish Muro, just shaking his head, saying, come on, guys, not again.
Yeah, they'd actually busted Grammatech there, and that they've got the offload away and caught it would have been very interesting. You have to say the game hasn't really got out of second gear, has it? Like, there's just so many errors because of the, I guess, the handling conditions, and for both teams, a lot on the line, I suppose.
Angus Duckett, the number 7 for University there, captain. Eddie Kennedy with the feed. Not a great pass, but Grammatech managing to get themselves out of trouble. If they found touch, though, they have found touch.
Boy, that's quality. Took the ball on his bootlaces, stood up and belted it 40 metres. Not a bad effort, given that he was almost on the dead ball line.
Steve R4 with the throw. Better, cleaner ball for University. They decide this time. Long cutout pass. Give themselves options left and right. They did decide to go through to the right. It was Duckett who set that up, their number 7. But again, good scrambling defence coming from Grammatech. The pressure continues to mount on University.
Yeah, it's just not quite going their way. I mean, they've actually manipulating space quite well there. They went to the blind side and looked like they had numbers, but just couldn't quite get the pass. So it can go either way this way. You know, Grammatech will take heart from the fact they're keeping them out, but if University actually bust and score, then they'll lift in their confidence.
Well, just over 6 minutes remain in this first half. This round 6 clash of Auckland's Gallagher Shield senior club competition. It is the home team Grammatech in the light blue and white, and the famous University in the colours of the navy blue and white. Big crashing run, great tackling. Plummer, though, this time decides to put it high down the middle of the park. Pressure goes on the University fullback. Brilliantly done from Manuel Harmon. And now University, they need quick ball. They've got numbers out to their left.
Got numbers on the left as they go.
Referee, arm out, penalty coming. Oh, big bustling run. But they'll come back for the penalty. Surprised actually the referee on that occasion almost didn't go for the yellow card. Very cynical. Looking just to try and slow things down. And now they are going to have a shot at goal with just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. As that wind just appears to be settling down somewhat.
There's a bit of rain coming through though. Important kick.
So Orion Manuel Harmon, the fullback. Took the first conversion. Who will now step up and take this? Is it the first 5, Marty Swart? Here's a big man. Swart. He's pushed that out to his right. Grammatech will just look to try and slow things down.
Boy, that's a big let off for Grammatech there. That was a pretty important kick.
On that occasion, University putting the ball out on the full. Frustration just starting to creep into University. Nothing quite going right for them today.
This is a very important moment for University. They've just missed a penalty, and Grammar Tech have swum back onto attack with a kick that's gone out in the full. They'll really need to defend hard here.
Well, if Grammar Tech can strike just before half-time, it will really be, I'd imagine, somewhat of a heated discussion in the changing rooms at University at half-time. Deciding, Tofo Faliafa looks to run things up and gain more metres through the middle. University deciding not to commit so many numbers to the breakdown. Now quick ball. Eddie Kennedy, Harry Plummer. Wrapped up though in midfield, Grammar Tech. Kennedy, big long pass to Jack Wetton. Good run from Wetton. Getting over that advantage line. Plummer finds Tofo Faliafa. Referee though says offside. Playing the advantage. Good little chip kick coming here from Harry Plummer. Can he regather? They'll come back for the penalty.
University's defence was very good there, really well organised. The guys moving up quickly and knocking Grammar Tech over. Another penalty though.
Well, an opportunity to extend that lead. Push it out to 20 points to 7. Only a minute and a half remaining in this first half. You'd imagine that a player of Harry Plummer's quality and class is going to have a shot at goal. This is courageous. It's on the angle. It's not an easy kick.
Yeah, minute 30 to go. It's probably a sensible decision, I suppose.
So he's going to have a wind coming sort of from and behind him, but right to left at the same time. He's going to need to probably just aim this slightly to the right of the right upright and just see if that breeze can just bring it through the uprights. He is a quality footballer. He's been instrumental so far in this first half. In fact, he has been dynamic as the playmaker.
He's probably been the difference, hasn't he?
Big kick for Harry Plummer, looking to extend the margin to 13 points. And he's just pushed that away to the left, just didn't really sort of get the conditions, didn't quite read the conditions. They are very difficult kicking conditions. And now University.
I'll be pretty relieved with that. That's a good outcome for them. With the half almost up, it would have been terrible to have dropped another 3 points right there.
That's a very good kick, and that might almost be the last roll of the dice in this first half. I'd imagine we're into referee's time. Officially ticked over 40 minutes according to us.
I think it's gone out in the full, so it's a scrum back right in the middle. So they're pretty much, this is the last play of the half, unless there's any injury time, which I don't think there is.
Well, let's just see if they maybe set Plummer up for the drop goal, see if he can just kick 3 points before that half-time whistle does go. You can just see the conditions there in the background. It's got very dark, very gusty.
This is critical for varsity here, right in the middle, at 22 metres out.
Plummer, though, decides to look to run wide. Nice little wrap around. University read it beautifully, though, wrapped up in midfield. Quick ball, though, coming from Eddie Kennedy. Grammar Tech looking to try and go up through the middle. Kennedy once again looking to use the big men through the middle, draw the University defence in, then look to come back to the right. Plummer, long cut-out pass. They've got numbers, have they? The little show and go coming from Nikolai Foliaki in midfield.
University are pretty well structured and organised here. They're actually looking very good.
Feturangi, the number 7 for Grammar Tech, getting himself involved, just inching their way to the line. Again, just one off the ruck. Looking just for 1 metre, followed by another metre. Getting closer now to the line, but the turnover's come, has it?
No.
No, in fact, out wide, caught up in midfield.
You might be right about the drop kick. Harry Plummer's in a not bad position right now.
So just looking to get closer, Plummer. But still just deciding to go to the left. Not great body position, well read by University. Boy, it's been a titanic tussle in the tight today. Feturangi. Now looking to come back. Ini Kennedy, Plummer. On that occasion, though, the trickery not paying off. The knock-ons come. University, though, with the turnover, with the advantage. And that is half-time. So referee Ryan Bothwick calls for half-time. Grammar Tech leading 17 points to 7 as they head to the changing rooms in this round 6 clash of the Gallagher Shield between Grammar Tech and University.
Yeah, that was really outstanding defence there by University, and critical that they did. With 17-7, if Grammar Tech had scored there, it was going to be an interesting ask for the second half. But really well organised, good defence, good shape, and their line speed and commitment was excellent.
What are the Grammar Tech coaches going to be saying at half-time?
I think he's going to say, just keep going. You know, they're when they've got their set piece going well, which they have, after a pretty shaky start, they've actually looked good.
They'll be pleased defensively. It's been a wonderful effort defensively.
Yeah, look, no team's really dominated. In fact, you'd have to say Territorial, the first probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, Varsity had it, and Grammar Tech's clawed back. But it's pretty even, isn't it? Intercept between it.
And University, what will the coaches be saying to the University side, who you know, probably, you know, should be at least tied up at half-time. They've probably had a lot more opportunities. They just haven't taken them.
Probably just to calm down and be a little bit more patient. I mean, the defence is outstanding, but they've been just a little bit harried and frantic on attack when they don't need to.
Okay, so you are watching live coverage of this round 6 clash of the Gallagher Shield, the Auckland Senior Club Rugby Competition. Grammar Tech lead University 17 points to 7. We'll be back shortly with the second half.
This live stream of Auckland Club Rugby is brought to you by Grammar Tech and our awesome sponsors, Go Rentals, Fuji Xerox, Samurai Sportswear, Quinovic, Adset Braddock, Spencer Henshaw, North and South Trust, NZ Community Trust, and One Foundation. Live from Orakei Domain, it's Grammar Tech versus University for the Sir John Graham Cup.
Welcome to the ultimate rugby experience. Hi, I'm Ant Strawn, the General Manager of the Auckland Rugby International Academy. Based out of the iconic Eden Park, situated in beautiful Auckland City. The Auckland Rugby International Academy delivers world-class development programs based around technical, tactical and the strength and conditioning pillars. Follow in the footsteps of legends and join us at www.aucklandrugbyinternationalacademy.co.nz.
This live stream of Auckland Club Rugby is brought to you by Grammar Tech and our awesome sponsors, Go Rentals, Fuji Xerox, Samurai Sportswear, Quinovic, Adset Braddock, Spencer Henshaw, North and South Trust, NZ Community Trust, and One Foundation. Live from Orakei Domain, it's Grammar Tech versus University for the Sir John Graham Cup.
Here we are at Orakei Domain on Auckland's waterfront for a round 6 clash of the Gallagher Shield, Auckland Club Rugby's senior competition. It is the 8th placed Grammar Tech, the home team, taking on University, who currently sit 3rd on the table. And there is the home team, Grammar Tech, in the sky blue and the white, who have had the better of the first half, leading 17 points to 7. Joining me in commentary, Brandon Jackson, former Auckland and Northland representative, and we were just talking during the break, just the amazing difference that Harry Plummer, the Grammar Tech first five, has made in this game. Really has been the difference between the two teams.
Yeah, look, there's been an intercept. Otherwise, it's even Stevens, and there's been a couple of times where University's been hot on attack, and he's made a really strong tackle right on the goal line. He's had a couple of tough passes to pick up off his bootlaces, and he's managed to do that and still put the ball into into touch or deep into varsity territory. So
yeah, just having a look at the weather conditions too, it's been a funny type of day here in Auckland. It's that usual sort of 4 seasons in a day. That first half, it was quite blustery, almost a little bit of drizzle. And in the 5 minutes they're having for this half-time break, the clear blue skies have come across the field, and that wind just appears to have dropped down somewhat.
Yep, it's Auckland for you. Well, I guess it's Orakei Bay, so the rain's coming off there and it's gone. So should be a good second half.
Now, you're a Grammar Tech man. You've always been a Grammar Tech man?
Yep. So I went to Auckland Grammar School and played for Carlton under the old Grammar Carlton, colours. And yes, I've been here since I was 6, I suppose.
Yeah, small crowd, but a very loyal crowd around senior club rugby. Some big clashes going on around the city at the moment.
I love this stuff, eh? The club rugby is where it's at.
And first 15 rugby.
Yeah.
I'm a Mount Albert Grammar boy, so we're both from very traditional schools, and therefore I tend to have an affiliation a little bit more suburbs and Ponsonby, and Auckland Grammar have got their affiliations, and then we tend to see the likes of the Sacred Hearts and those types of schools tend to feed clubs like Marist.
Yep. And look, the sort of tribal stuff that goes on at high school, it changes a little bit at club level because you're welcoming guys from other schools. But to me, this is the beating heart of New Zealand rugby.
Yeah, and it's an area that New Zealand rugby need to make sure they maintain and concentrate on and not be too top-heavy when it comes to the All Blacks. It is still a lifeblood of rugby, and it's I guess putting my talkback hat on, it's an issue.
Massive issue. I actually think we're potentially watching peak All Black rugby at the moment because of that, because we're focusing on the top.
Well, yeah, we've got to be careful, don't we, that we always used to traditionally be rugby fans, and I just sort of get a sense now we're All Black fans.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the focus is.
So University getting things underway in the second half. Immediately Grammar Tech looking just to try and settle things down. And immediately from the base of the ruck, we see Eddie Kennedy, the halfback. Just look to put things into touch and once again try and put a little bit of pressure on University's line out, which wasn't great in the first half.
No, they're a bit under pressure. There's some big boys in there putting a lot of heat on. It'll be interesting to see how they sort of settle down in the second half, first throw back.
So Steve R4, the hooker for University, decides to go to the back. Once again, just a little bit of a knock on, and so it'll be a scrum feed to Grammar Tech.
Well, they'll be happy with that. They received the kick-off, carried, put up a kick, which initially looked like it was going to go out in the full, but stayed in. Then they've competed against the set phase and got the ball back, what appears to be on close to halfway.
In fact, I just wonder whether the referee's call was maybe for not straight. So the referee, Ryan Bothwick from North Harbour Union. Good to see the unions crossing over between themselves, giving the referees an opportunity to experience different styles,
yeah, he's
different
been good
types
today.
of rugby, and all in the name of development.
He's been good today, yeah.
So Plummer, who's orchestrated this backline brilliantly so far. Another lovely little move coming from the Grammar Tech team. On this occasion, though, the draw on the pass, just that final pass letting Grammar Tech down on the left wing. Simone Samate.
Yeah, he would have got that if he was 10 foot tall, but not to be. But you have to say, I was watching there from behind. The University defence is very well structured and organised.
This time R4 deciding to go to the front of the line out. Grammar Tech up quickly. Good run though coming from Tavita Latu wearing the number 11 jersey. Instead, maybe coming through offside.
Yeah, deliberate knockdown.
Deliberate knockdown, in fact.
It was Victor Tungafasi who was going for an intercept, but stuck his hand out. You actually, one of those funny sort of plays where you're better off, you can almost pull it off, but you're better off letting it go. Hasn't found touch, I don't think.
No, hasn't found touch. Marty Swart. Now an opportunity for Grammar Tech to look to try and return it with a little bit of interest. And James Russell, the fullback, putting it into touch.
I was watching him earlier. I'm pretty sure he's only playing on one hamstring. He's really struggling back there, actually.
So R4 with the throw to the line out. This time, again, just that little knock on. Referee says it's gone back, has he? No, he has called for the knock on. So good turnover ball for Grammar Tech. Plummer looking to just try and control things. Doesn't find touch on this occasion. University using their big men out wide. Good to see a winger looking to try and go on the outside rather than always looking just to cut back infield.
Yeah, I think University are struggling at line-out time there. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on them. You have twice as many line-outs as scrums in a game these days, so they've really got to get that right.
Well, I always believe sometimes when you look to go too deep in a line out, the ball's got obviously got to travel a lot further. There's a lot more things that can go wrong. Sometimes it's just about doing the basics when things aren't working well. And that's about being able to make those decisions under pressure.
It's like an injury or check to Feti Ringi.
Yeah, Fetu Rangi. Wearing the number 7 jersey. You'd know a little bit about him, a pure out-and-out 7.
Yeah, look, he's come through the club, come through the grades, and you know, probably hasn't been a rock star, but he over the previous years, but has just stuck at it. And one of those guys that just keeps plugging away, very accurate. No, not the greatest athlete in the world, but just through his understanding of the game, does a really good job for the club.
So just deciding to get back into position, just running with a little bit of a limp. Hopefully he'll shake that out. And as we get back underway in this Gallagher Shield round 6 clash between Grammar Tech and University. And again, just turnover, and now University. First real opportunity this half to try and get some momentum. They decide to go quickly, use their big men. They go up through the middle, through Uni Whitilaanga. Options left and right. Good step coming from Swart. Got a runner on the outside. One off staff. This is better from University. They've got some real momentum here. This could be one of the great tries. Great cover defence coming from Grammar Tech, though. Quick ball required. The knock-on coming, short of the line.
Man,
we talk about owning the moments. University just not quite having that ability to hold that final pass. It would have been one of the great tries.
Boy, it's a coach killer either way, isn't it? I mean, Taniela dropped the ball as he was carrying it in a really good position, and then University looked like they're going to score and drop the ball as well.
Taniela Matakayongo wearing the number 6 jersey for Grammar Tech.
Pretty sure he's an Onehunga High boy, so he's come into the club and been under the radar a bit. He's had a very big year this year.
So we've got Nale Tokolo in the tight head wearing the number 3 for Grammar Tech. Penny Kafusi, the loose head wearing number 1, and Victor Tuangavasi is the hooker. That is the front row for Grammar Tech, supported by Jack Wetton and Sean Whittam.
So Nale Tokolo was 145 kilos at the start of the season, and after a knee injury, he's managed to drop 20 kilos odd, be down to 122, playing Prem Rugby.
That is a very good kick in terms of distance coming from Plummer, but he hasn't found touch. And now we see a very good run coming from Trent Harris, wearing number 14 for University. Boy, lovely little step from Harris. They decide to go to the left, use their big men, but hands leading them down once again. Just a little knock on. just coming at the wrong time for the University coaches, I'd imagine. Grammar Tech hanging on.
Yeah, look, the coaches will be getting frustrated because both sides are dropping the ball. I guess that shower just before half-time might be making the ball a little bit greasy.
Yeah, wonderful run there from Trent Harris. Just stepping off both left and right feet. And the great thing about a good winger is that ability not to slow down when you're stepping. We've seen a master in Christian Cullen, and we've probably seen it in Damien McKenzie at the moment.
I think both teams just need to be a little more patient. You know, there's sort of and just focus on the skills a little. I'd say both times they drop the ball, guys are taking their eyes off the ball as the ball comes into their hands.
Well, you sort of get a sense that if University can just hang on to the ball and score, then, you know, potentially the floodgates could open here, because it will just give them that confidence, it will give them that belief. But equally, if Grammar Tech, you know, score the next points, you just wonder whether University, whether the head will just go down and whether they can actually bring themselves back. Yeah,
the defence at University putting out there, I actually think they've got the edge on the defence. They look the tighter unit, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, look, if they get points and then able to defend it, they'll be very hard to top.
So 7 minutes gone in the second half. It is University in the dark navy blue and white, taking on Grammar Tech in the sky blue and white. Home ground is Grammar Tech. Orakei Domain on Auckland's waterfront. Now, they've been very good in midfield, Grammar Tech. Great little step, brilliant little run coming from the fullback, James Russell. They'll look to just go through the middle, though, use their big men. This time, though, not releasing. Great to see University getting numbers to the breakdown, getting over the top. Referee Ryan Bothwick says you can't do that. Penalty goes the way of University.
Interesting tactics. I mean, they've got a very good kicker at first five there, and they're choosing to run it in their own area. This will be a key line out for University. They've got into position, just whether they can actually, you know, convert pressure from winning their set piece.
Well, Tumama Tu'uluya wearing the number 4. Hamish Moreau wearing the number 5 for University. The big tall men, the two locks. Decide to go down to the back of the line out. It's messy once again, but University managing to retain possession through Uini Fitaleanga, the number 8. And now Nathan Harris wearing the 6. Decides to take it forward. Quick ball coming back to Tuilia, one of the two locks for University. Fitaleanga, he's a big man at 8, getting good go forward. This time racked up beautifully, though, by Grammar Tech. Jack Wetton.
There's that mistake again.
And immediately from the mistake, James Russell puts the long kick in. And University decide they want to get on with it. To Vitalatu wearing the number 11 for University. Looking to take things back into midfield. They set, they go again. And this time they get across the advantage line an easy 10 metres. And the penalty goes the way of University.
They did well there. They're almost busted Grammar Tech on the counter offence there. Sort of get the feeling that whichever team scores next is really going to kick ahead here.
So Marty Swart puts the ball into touch and inside Grammar Tech's 22. So a very good kick from that penalty. But once again, we go back to it. Set piece at line out for University has been disappointing. They need this to be perfect. They need this to be good, quick ball. Look to try and set things up in midfield. Draw that Grammar Tech defence in. Give themselves the option of going left or right.
Just as you say that, the wind starts to pick up, so it's going to be a tough throw.
Opted for the shorter line out. And again, Grammatech though, too good. Jack Wetton, turnover. He's been good all day. And straight back to Harry Plummer, the first 5'8" for Grammatech, who this time settles things down well and truly.
Yeah, it's a tough to attack like that. Just got to have the ball, and your set phase is so critical these days. Well, it always has been, but line out, if you can't win line out, it's really hard to launch.
So University looking to try and just speed things up a little bit at set piece. Crash and bash up through the middle. Grammatech doing a good job, try and keep him off his feet. Scrum though, way of University. Good defence from Grammatech.
This is where the fatigue factor starts to set in with these guys as well. A couple of big packs out there running at each other.
Well, as I say, it comes down to very small percentages. It doesn't elite sport, 0.001%. You know what the moral of the story is? When that alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning, you never ever push the snooze button.
Feet on the floor.
70 minutes a week. 70 minutes a week. It adds up.
So good attacking position for University here, middle of the field. Options either way. $10 points in it.
It's been a relatively clean game at scrum time today from both sides. Just when I say that, the commentators curse. Both front rows collapse. And the referee says, hey guys, we'll do that again. We will reset.
Yeah, neither side at scrum times got dominance. You'd have to say at line out, Grammatech's shading University just with some of the challenges University are having getting their line out jumpers and hitting them.
Well, we saw University on that first half 10 metres out from Grammatech's line when the penalties came, deciding that they wanted to take the scrum. So they obviously felt early on they did probably have, probably did have a little bit of dominance, but it certainly hasn't, well, through the eyes of us, the commentators, certainly haven't seen it that way.
No.
Now the free kick, nothing going right for University.
That's got to hurt. That really got to hurt.
The quick tap, here we go. The big men for Grammatech looking to just try and go up the middle, draw some of the University defenders in before they go wide. Good pass from Eddie Kennedy. He's been good today. Again, Kennedy involved. Plummer looking for territory, but very good return here from University.
Good tackle by Jack Wetton. He's having a stormer today.
Oh, good hit coming in from Grammatech, one of the reserves.
Viliami Votafili.
Votafili wearing the number 18 jersey. But it's University. Now have got numbers. Have they got the overlap? A little show and go. Beautiful play, beautiful interplay between the backs and the forwards here. Lovely little layup from Noah Foster wearing the number 13. The little show and go coming from the halfback. Held up though. And now they look to go to the left, University.
Under penalty advantage to University.
Numbers out to the left, have they? Antonio Rapata for University. The loose head prop. Deciding to go on his own. Barnaby Abdallah Weir. Good defence from Grammatech though. But they'll come back for the penalty.
That's probably the longest passage of play that University has strung together. They're actually asking some questions. Good defence by Grammatech in that instance.
Yeah, Noah Foster, the number 13, weaving a little bit of magic. They certainly do have some speed out wide. They certainly got some speedsters in midfield, contrasting body types between the two midfields. University tend to probably have that slightly more athletic, explosive type build, where I think Grammar Tech relying a little bit more on size, but they've been effective.
Yeah, Kalakalia-Hife, he's not a tall man, but like he's probably got one of the biggest punts, and the old spiral punt, if you want to go back to the good old days. Very effective at first five and second five.
So do they opt for the shortened line out?
I think they've gone full. I've got to say they don't look entirely confident, to be fair.
So this time better from University. Look to go to their left. Bustling run coming through the midfield. Close to the line now for Grammar Tech. University deciding still to just go through the middle this time. Do they have the numbers out wide? The try comes, and University are clawing their way back into this game. Just continued to draw defenders in, and eventually the overlap came on the left-hand side. Tumana Tualua, the big lock by the looks of it, has scored in the corner. In fact, it might have been Antonio Rapata.
Yeah, I think it was. He's been very good today. He's carried extremely well. Auckland Grammar old boy. I know you went to Meg, so you won't be too happy with that.
I was going to say, I've never heard of Auckland Grammar. Got to say, it was great to watch an All Black test the other week with Mount Abbott Grammar midfield of Sonny Bill Williams and Jack Goodyear.
Pretty large midfield too, isn't it, when you're international standards? Well, University really needed that. That's put them right back in the game, and you'd have to say, with the way their defence is going, if they can just get the ball and hang on to it, they're actually going to be pretty hard to stop.
Again, neither of the kickers been that successful from out wide, so the score remains 17 points to 12. It is still Grammar Tech leading over University in this round 6 clash of the Gallagher Shield. But Antonio Rapata looking to try and inspire his team. And Harry Plummer needs to start taking control of this game for Grammar Tech as well. But University immediately decide that they want to run from the kick-off. Big men straight up the middle. Grammar Tech now starting to fall off some tackles. Numbers to the left. Onto the boot, the little chip through. Can Grammar Tech get back? Beautifully regathered from University, and once again Grammar Tech in trouble here. And they've scored again, University, have they?
Out.
In fact, into touch, metres short of the line.
It just shows you the difference. One missed tackle in midfield and they're gone. With the how teams attack these days with, you know, sort of second man plays, once you miss, they're away.
So Victor Tuangafasi with the throw. Now the pressure goes on the Grammar Tech line out, but they've been good all day. Beautifully done. Harry Plummer, I'd imagine, be calling for this. In fact, somehow we've seen a turnover. And now the penalty comes. University with the quick tap. Referees allowed the quick tap all day. Big driving run at the line, held up short though. Looking still just to pick and go, University. Inching their way to the line. Looking to draw the Grammar Tech defenders in.
Try.
And try has been given. So University through their forwards on this occasion score. Well, it was only a matter of time. 17 points all. 19 and a half minutes remaining.
Well, that's down to one missed tackle leading to the bust, and then you know, Grammar Tech actually recovered the line out, drove, and then somehow turned over. So, Yeah, that'll be frustrating their coaches, and you'd have to say that the momentum of the game, to use a Murray Mixted term, has swung back to University. Psychic momentum.
Yeah, well, you know, Plummer needs to really come in here. They've got to play a bit more of a territorial game, look to try and find touch, look to try and just come up, put some more pressure on University and do what University have done, and that is just force the turnover at those key times.
Let's go, boys!
Yeah, you trace this swing of momentum back to Grammar Tech attacking down the left-hand side here, looking at it, and you know, losing the ball and a penalty. And then all of a sudden, University have had the ball and kept it.
So a very important kick, this to give University the lead for the first time today, to take the lead to 19 points to 17 on the angle in very difficult conditions. And that is a very good kick, outstanding. University for the first time lead in this round 6 clash of the Gallagher Shield, the Auckland Senior Club Rugby competition. So Tavita Latu with a successful conversion. Plummer with the restart, looks to go long. University immediately decide to go back to their number 10, Marty Swart. Hasn't found touch. Grammar Tech now going wide, not really necessarily going forward. Looking now to straighten it up. What magic can Plummer weave here? Commanding orders, asking more of his men. Long cutout pass. Grammar Tech deciding they want to play with ball in hand. And now the little chip kick through. Into touch, just to look to try and settle things down.
Yeah, look, I think that's smart play. They'd gone side to side, nothing really on. Now they're down in University territory. Now they can put pressure on through their defence. You'd have to say the University bench has made quite an impact coming on, and I thought they probably had the edge on that, as you asked me before the game.
Again, another poor throw though from University. It's been their Achilles heel all day. Grammar Tech, opportunity to capitalise. Good flat defence coming from University. Too flat perhaps. Numbers look to straighten up. Use their big men through the middle. Beats one, beats two, goes to ground. Good straight running, good tackling. James Russell wrapped up. The fullback for Grammar Tech. But Mata Kaiongo looking now to take control in the number 6 jersey for Grammar Tech. They've got numbers if they can go wide. 10 metres short of the line, Grammar Tech. Big defence from University. Arm out though from the referee. Penalty coming.
Yeah, Moz have a go. They've got advantage.
What does Plummer do here? Does he have a crack at a drop goal? Got the advantage. He's dropping back into the pocket. And the kick's just wide. So I'll come back for the penalty, but great to see a first 5-8 looking for the drop goal. An area of New Zealand rugby that we just don't see a lot of these days.
All came from a missed line-out throw. University could have worked their way up the other end of the field, but Nale Tokola took it in, and Grammar Tech attacked.
This was good, intelligent football from Grammar Tech, taking the 3 points on offer. They realised the importance and significance of this game. Trailing at the moment, 19 points to 17. This will give them that 1 point advantage with around 15 minutes remaining in this game.
University won't mind giving up penalties because Grammar Tech needs to win with a bonus point, so they really need to score tries if they're going to have any impact on the University standing in the table.
We talked about the importance of the reserve bench and the squad of 23 and the way teams these days use those 23 players at a senior club level. Is it preordained? Is it pre-planned? Is there a plan to bring a player on at the 55-minute, the 60-minute mark, or do coaches still just generally look at form and fatigue?
I think it's more form and fatigue at this level. Actually, you've only got 22 at club level, of course, but there's been so many injuries in both teams that yeah, I think both clubs are struggling with the bench, actually.
So Swart gets things back underway for University. Oh, great take, great leap coming from Jack Wetton for Grammatech. He's been magnificent all day. Now Grammatech looking to just try and go up through the middle, gain some extra metres. Eddie Kennedy forming a great partnership with Harry Plummer. But the little knock-on comes. Another key moment.
I don't think I could clear it. So I think it's a collapse maul, I think, is the call there. Typically bizarre Auckland conditions, we've now got brilliant sunshine.
So just for people tuning in, just the basic definition, the difference between a ruck and a maul.
Well, so if you take the ball in and you're on your feet and then collapse after it's been up in the air for a while, that's a maul. Ruck is when a ball carrier goes straight to ground. And a ruck is when one player from each side is over the ball now. That's the new rules.
So University, again, they'll come out to their right-hand side, looking to use and looking to try and find Tavita Lee, who's been explosive down that right-hand side. But it's Grammatech back in possession.
Wobbly old kick there, but he managed to get into touch at least.
So the replacement hooker for University, with the throw to the line out. And again, it is Grammatech who have just dominated that set piece when it comes to line out, but wrapped up in midfield from some good defence from University. Now Plummer for Grammatech. Manages to find touch. And it will be another line-out throw to University.
Which is probably not helping them, is it? I think the referees awarded them a scrum from the knock-on from Sitavini. So, yeah, probably a good outcome for University, given the trouble they're having with their line-out. You sort of get the feeling that when it goes wide, University have got the edge on Grammatech. They're just sort of hanging on.
Yeah, Tavita Latu on the left wing, Trent Harris on the right wing for University. Midfield combination of Jason Lorich at 12, Noah Foster at 13. Scrum, University. Lorich shows and goes, wrapped up in a good tackle. Grammatech over the top. Referee says, though, offside.
Yeah, a penalty advantage from that scrum. I'm not sure what for, but he had his arm out.
A little unlucky Grammatech. I think they thought they had the rights, but obviously the earlier infringement, referee playing advantage.
This is big. 10 minutes to go, and University moved down into Grammatech territory, but with a line out, where they've really struggled.
Yeah, somewhat surprised they did just take the kick then. You've mentioned that they've struggled, perhaps just maybe taking the scrum, or certainly want to probably try and shorten this line up out a little bit. That time far more effective, sped things up. And now they look to come wide. A wayward pass though gives the opportunity to Grammatech to come up and press on defence. Wrapped up, big tackle in midfield. But numbers now. The little pass coming from Latu. In fact, Swart finds numbers on his inside. Grammatech hanging on. University now looking to go wide. Have they got the overlap? The little show and go decides to step inside and go himself. On the outside, is it? Is it a try possibly coming to Trent Harris for University? Now the penalty. What do? They tap. 3 points on offer. Underneath the post, great defence coming from Grammar Tech.
A better score. Taking a quick tap in that position.
Over, held up. Advantage being played by the referee.
Set scrum, is it?
We'll wait for the decision. They're going to come back, are they? You just wonder the option there from University to take the 3 points. Decided for the quick tap.
Yeah, rush of blood there, I think. That was pretty much in front, and they're 1 point down with 9 minutes to go.
Well, big scrum from both teams. Uini Fetalaianga, the number 8 for University. Does he look to come off the back? In fact, it's not a great scrum. Turnover at Grammar Tech. Harry Plummer calling for the ball.
I think he's on the ground, actually. It's somebody else going to have to kick. Hefo.
This time, penalty going Grammar Tech's way. Well, the coaching staff will just be shaking their head. There was 3 points on offer. They turned it down. They looked for the quick tap. All that possession, all that territory has amounted to nothing. And Grammar Tech continue now just to watch the clock count down. Just less than 8 minutes remaining. They'll look to try and just put this into touch. Go to the set piece, look to slow it down, possibly look to play some territory.
Yeah, massive call not to take the penalty. They're third on the ladder, and they really need to win this. Who would be a coach, eh?
Well, Plummer hasn't found touch, so it's back on for University. Immediately look to go from the right to the left. Good run coming from Jason Lorich in the number 12 jersey. But Grammar Tech setting themselves defensively. Great tackle in midfield, but quick ball from University. Looking to try and straighten it up through their big men. Antonio Rapata once again carrying beautifully all day. Hamish Muro, number 5. Looking to straighten. Great tackle in midfield from Grammar Tech. Slow ball for University. Now they look to try and come wide, but Grammar Tech up nice and flat.
Discipline really important here for Grammar Tech.
They decide to come to their left, University. Stepping back inside. Good thinking from Trent Harris. Staying away from the touchline. Come right. Smash and bash. The clock continues to count down.
Both sides looking for a mistake to happen here. University looking for get a penalty, and Grammar Tech trying to win the ball back.
Yeah, Grammar Tech just not really committing numbers to the ruck at the moment, deciding that just defensively they want to spread themselves out wide. Opportunity for a turnover here. University, though, retain possession, metres short of the line.
It's on here.
Good little step coming from Swart. Looks for the little inside pass. Great defence from Grammar Tech, though. But once again, University, they're absolutely relentless. Not great body position. Wrapped up. Big tackle. Little show and go through the middle. Is it Swart underneath the posts? Did he get it down? Held up. Brilliant defence from Grammar Tech.
Wow.
Wow.
I thought that was a try for all money there.
That is just simply wonderful defence. But they will come back now for the 5-metre scrum.
Probably the 4th or 5th time that Grammar Tech's had to defend a scrum right on their line in the middle of the field. Very tough defending.
4.5 minutes remaining. University, what do they do? Do they go to their big men? Nathan Harris, Angus Duckett. Look to just go perhaps one off the ruck.
They've gone well whenever they've attacked on this right-hand touchline. Whenever they've gone wide, they may look to do that again.
Look to get it out to Tavita Latu. Lorich and Foster have looked dangerous in midfield every time they've got the ball today for University. Big scrum, both teams. University possibly looking to go from the base of the scrum. In fact, they come out to the left-hand side. Good little move, cut out pass. Lorich just short of the line. Good defence. Coming from Grammar Tech. Looking to just draw more defenders in. At what point do they go wide? What point do they look for that long cutout, looping pass? They believe they can do it up through the middle. They haven't been that effective today in this aspect of the game. Will their fortunes change? And now they look to spin it. Now they look to come wide. Latu.
That's good defence.
Great defence. Antonio Rapata. Unable to get across the line this time. Oh. The long cutout pass.
Wow. That was good play by both sides. You have to say outstanding defence. Good step.
Yeah, just that pass, just the pressure. And Grammar Tech, if they can get this across the line, they deserve the victory. Plenty of courage under fire today. Just 2 minutes remaining, just over 2 minutes remaining.
Big throw for Sho Samashima, the Japanese hooker. Jack Wetton again has been very big today. Good line-out work.
Outstanding play from Wetton. Good drive here coming from Grammar Tech.
Here you go. It's all on now. Must have been a knock on there. Oh, a truck trailer, is it?
The old truck and trailer. Got to stay engaged.
So they should have been able to clear there, but went for the drive and truck trailer, and not a penalty though for some reason.
Just to look there at Nale Tokolo. Big man wearing the number 3.
So just when you think Grammar Tech has cleared pressure, you could probably wind down the clock. Now they're hard on defence, under the pump, inside their 22.
Well, University, how do they play this? They've been effective when they've gone wide. But perhaps just need to straighten up a little bit in midfield.
I reckon they've just got to get hit in midfield and just get their forwards going, because it's they'll draw a penalty sooner or later.
They do look to try and come into the midfield. Just a little knock on though from Latu. Pressure comes on. Scrum. Can they wind the clock down? Remember, it's not just about points for the Gallagher Shield. History being made today, because the winner of this game will receive the Sir John Graham Cup for the very first time. One of the great All Blacks, one of New Zealand's greatest ever sportsmen, ambassadors, humanitarians, been honoured with a trophy in his name. And which club will have his name etched on that trophy for the first time?
Well, it's time up on the clock, so all Grammar Tech need to do, unless there's injury time, is get the ball and kick it out.
20 points to 19. Grammar Tech, big scrum coming though. Big scrum coming, and now the 3 points. The 3 points. Great scrum. Well, Steve Afoa, Barnaby, Adaliwea, Antonio Rapata, when they needed it the most, it came. Referee Ryan Bothwick says penalty. And it's out in front of the sticks.
So the first time that the scrum hasn't been stable for Grammar Tech, it's right in front of their post at this point of the game.
This to win the game. And valuable points in the overall standings of this year's Gallagher Shield. But probably of more importance, this to win the Sir John Graham Trophy. And it is successful. The score reads 22 points to 20. It is the visiting team, University, who lead for just the second time in this match. Referee says time still on. We are into injury time. Grammar Tech need a rugby miracle. Plummer with the kickoff decides to go short, goes the 10 metres. University come up and regather. Swart calling for it. He'll look to try and put it into touch. It is all over. University win the Sir John Graham Cup. Their name will be etched on the trophy for the first time. It's been a wonderful game. Round 6 of the Gallagher Shield. You have to feel for Grammar Tech. For 79.5 minutes, it was their game. And on the one occasion their scrum didn't perform, they turned that lead over to University.
Well, University had several cracks at it and sort of blew it really. And then, Grammar, all they needed to do was keep the ball from the scrum and then put it out, and they probably would have been able to defend and win. However, that's the way the game goes. You have to say, a good game.
Well, a great game, and this is one of the great things about rugby. It's incredibly gladiatorial, it can be brutal, it can be physical, but when the 80 minutes is all over, it's smiles, it's handshakes. Played with great spirit. No real angst today, which is always good to see.
The coach from Grammar Tech will probably go into depression for a couple of days, but he'll come out. He'll be right by Tuesday. Well,
I think if you looked at the two teams coming in today, certainly in terms of the table, 3 University third on the table, taking on Grammar Tech, who were 8th. I think the coaches can be incredibly proud of Grammar Tech. I thought defensively they were outstanding under some pretty tough circumstances at times.
Yeah, true. I mean, well, it was only the scrum at the end that cost them as far as the game goes, I suppose. But yeah, it's a good point. The coaches will be happy. They'll be disappointed with the loss, of course, and not to get the inaugural trophy. But fair play to both sides. It was a pretty robust encounter.
So the crowd here thoroughly enjoying what they have seen this afternoon. It's been just played in great spirit. It is so typical of what we have come to expect right across Auckland, right across the country when it comes to club rugby. 2 great sides with such a rich history coming up against each other, and just the narrowest of margins separating the two. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage from Orakei Domain. It's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure. And once again, congratulations to University, the first ever winners of the Sir John Graham Cup.
This live stream of Auckland Club Rugby is brought to you by Grammar Tech and our awesome sponsors, Go Rentals, Fuji Xerox, Samurai Sportswear, Quinovic, Adset Braddock, Spencer Henshaw, North and South Trust, NZ Community Trust, and One Foundation. Live from Orakei Domain, it's Grammar Tech versus University.